Yo, what's cracking everyone? Ericship 111 here. So the long-awaited new Test Drive Unlimited game has been announced, titled Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. And I will say I'm not only excited, but eager to see what the developers have installed for us. For those who don't really know what this series is or what the hype is all about, well, this is essentially Forza Horizon before Horizon was even a thing. It's an open world racer with its first title, Test Drive Unlimited, being released back in September of 2006, I believe, on the Xbox 360. And I remember every day after school, I would play this game religiously. Although with a car list of around 130, which is quite small for today's standards, the map, however, is huge. It was based off satellite images of an island in Hawaii that would include over 1,000 miles of drivable roads, almost at a 1-to-1 scale, which is astonishing. Then in 2011, Unlimited 2 was released, and that game was even bigger, featuring 2 islands that were both nearly at 1-to-1 scale, being set in Ibiza, and also the return of the Hawaiian island. Okay, I don't want to go into detail as to why the Test Drive Unlimited series was so good, as that can be a video on its own, but let's take a look at the new Solar Crown game and what we know about it so far for those who didn't watch the reveal. Starting off with number 1, early in development. It was pretty obvious when the stream was being held that majority of the viewers only cared about the Test Drive Unlimited game and what potential gameplay they might tease. Unfortunately, we didn't get any gameplay as the game is very early into development, which I knew for some may have been a little disappointed, but hopefully we may see more of the game when Gamescom comes around later this year during August. But I'm just glad that at least there's a returning open world racer that could very well take its Solar Crown back. Number 2, 1-to-1 map. This to me is huge. One of the key factors that made the Test Drive Unlimited series so unique was that they were able to take a chosen location, which has always been an island, and almost replicate it to a 1-to-1 scale, giving a huge variety of areas to explore, both on-road and off-road. Yes, you can go off-road in this series too. Now, if they were able to make such a huge map back on last generation consoles, then what do they have in store for us nearly a decade later? I can't imagine the devs taking a shortcut by picking a smaller location compared to the last 2 games. I feel as though they don't want to disappoint the fans who have been patiently waiting for this series to return, and also they have a lot to prove. Since their hiatus, many new series like The Crew, Forza Horizon and Need for Speed have stepped up with great titles in the past 9 years, and whether anybody wants to admit it or not, those games are ultimately their competition. In terms of where the location might be set, what we do know at this point is that it will be based on an island at a 1-to-1 scale, so that there will be real life locations to visit. In terms of where it might be, well, there has been many speculations amongst the community, with the 2 most popular locations being Sardinia and Corsica, which then leads me to point number 3, game engine. So, KT Racing, who are the developers of Solar Crown, have previously worked on other racing titles like WRC 8, V-Rally 4, including the upcoming WRC 9, which is a very good sign, because one thing that was perhaps disappointing about the Test Drive Unlimited series was its physics model. It just wasn't that nice to drive. But with this new engine that has proven to be able to cross between arcade and simulation, the experience will certainly be able to narrow in exactly how cars should perform physics-wise to make it fun while being realistic at the same time. And also, I'm sure there will be a lot more off-roading or rally roads in Solar Crown 2, as that's where their game physics excels at. Not only that, remember how in my previous point where the French island Corsica was a possible location? Well, the developers have already rendered a portion of that island from their recent title of WRC 8. So it could be a possibility, but would they reuse old content for a new game? Well, you can Google the island for yourself to see if this would be an appropriate location for the next Test Drive game. But at least it's confirmed to be running off a proven game engine. Number 4, Windows are coming down. Often the Forza Horizon series gets compared to the pioneer of this genre, and there's 3 features many of us ask for. One is for the convertible to have the ability to open and close while being in free roam. Second is to have indicators because we feel like being normal drivers from time to time. And lastly is to have your windows down or up depending on how you want to drive. Now truthfully, none of these features is game breaking. However, it's small details like this which Test Drive included that made us appreciate the intricacies the developers will go into in hopes to make our virtual driving experience unique. Now, how do we know winding down windows is a feature? Well, from the trailer we can see in this part here that windows are coming down. This is awesome because Nacon did mention on their stream that they will keep many of the features that made this series great. Number 5, character customization is back. The character customization in Test Drive is very different to Forza Horizon 4. Now of course I can't say which direction the developers are heading towards, but I seriously doubt Test Drive would go the Fortnite style route, but rather retaining the elegant character customization where you could drive yourself to clothing stores and try on suits or go to the barber to get your hair cut, all of course while not interfering with your driving progression in game. But we'll see. Number 6, the cars. From the trailer itself, it was a little bit difficult to see what cars were being showcased. Now I will say I'm terrible at guessing cars up close, but the blue car to me looks like a Bugatti Chiron. The next shot was some yellow headlights popping up, which along with the flat front looks like a Lamborghini Diablo to me. Then the shot after that, which showcased the exhaust, is of course the Porsche 918 Spider, which is actually quite big as back when they released Unlimited 2 and the first title, EA still had the rights to Porsche, which means they were using roofs as their Porsche supplements, but now we will most likely see a bunch of new Porsches into the franchise, which is exciting to hear. This shot here, we can see that this car in the background, which I believe looks like a Koenigsegg, I'm not entirely too sure as it's quite blurry, so the cars featured in this trailer could quite possibly be their cover cars too, and honestly, it's very Test Drive Unlimited choice of vehicles already. Here we also see a shot of the Apollo IE being modeled, and I don't know if this really means anything, but when they were speaking about the game, the camera panned to a picture of a Dodge SRT Challenger, which is something worth noting down. And lastly, if you look at the fine print of the trailer, you can see a whole bunch of manufacturers and some models which either were featured in this trailer or the game itself. Feel free to pause it if you want to have a better look, but what do you guys think? Number 7, release date. Because it's still in early development, unfortunately there is no release date. But what we do know is that it will be released on Steam, which is great news for all PC players. Now, will it be on current gen consoles or next gen consoles? My guess is that the game will be released on next generation consoles, as they may as well utilize the most powerful technology available. But can you imagine, fingers crossed, and being optimistic that this game comes out around the same time as Forza Horizon 5 in 2021? My goodness, both games will need to step it up, because if they don't, one will fall, and as I said earlier, there's only room for one at the very top. Or will Nacon and KT Racing take their time perfecting this game and release it in 2022? Who knows? And lastly, number 8, community feedback. During the stream, the creative director did state that they will take community feedback very seriously, especially right after the game's announcements. So if there are any features you want to see new or returning, write them down in the comment section below. And for those who perhaps never played the Test Drive Unlimited series before, maybe pick up a copy and try it out for yourself. It's a game I miss dearly, but desperately needs a new title, and I think we're all waiting. So there we have it, guys, 8 things that we know so far about the newest Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown game. If you guys did find this video helpful, please make sure to smash the thumbs up button, that would really help me out. And also, if you guys would like to keep up to date with all Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown news, make sure to subscribe right here to my channel with notifications turned on. That way you won't ever miss out on another video that goes live, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace.